and it is Vic's first time on stream here, so going to be a pretty interesting matchup.
Ooh.
Double generator prize for Landen, though.
Yeah, and that's a lot of reach, too, with the Raichu. Often that is going to be a solution that you need in order to win against the high hit points that you'll see in the active spot, like the Arceus VSTAR.
Yeah, this is reminiscent of Nicholas Moffat's list from Portland, so it is playing 2 Raichu in the list. And meanwhile, Vic does prize that Choice Belt, which the only upside down card.
and it's a one-of.
Yeah.
Judge!
Really hoping to maybe use that to take a knockout on something like a Raichu V or Raikou V as early as turn 2 with that Arceus V-Star, but not going to have access to that here.
Yeah, looking through the rest of the list, looks like Vic has a lot of those classic strategies. The Arceus Path Judge that you so often love, and Landen with a fun surprise, seeing the Arceuses. Yay! I can knock those out.
Oh no, this hand is a little bit saved with that Bravery Charm
Yeah,
here.
hold up.
All right, some technology here.
He wasn't ready.
Fun fact, both of these players are playing multiple copies of Judge and Path in their lists. So
this is all right. I'll just let you take the wheel
this
then,
is
bud.
perfect. So 270 for this Arceus V. I think that's going to stick around until next turn.
Yeah, you can look through and see that there's no Raichu, but even then, that would have been a miracle with double generator in the prize cards too. Where are the energies coming from?
There's 2 Raichu, Kyle.
You play 2?
That's what I just said that.
All right. Well, I was a little more excited about the Arceus side, to be honest. There's potential to get knocked out.
All right, and as you notice, we have a little new technology on the layout today. We got energy supporter retreats, so you'll see those highlighted up when the players play each of those cards for this match. Hopefully keep things a little copacetic. And Landen is starting things off with that tandem unit, finding a Raikou and a Mareep. Classic Miraidon.
Oh, yeah. Well, not if you're playing.
Yeah, not if I'm
You don't have Mareep.
I hate you.
All right, Forest Sealstone along with the Beach Court. Things are moving on Landen's side, and Escape Rope means that Free Retreat Mareep is going to be hanging out.
Yeah, might as well. You don't want an Electric Generator into Mareep here, but this might be an awkward discard with this Professor's Research here. Has Flaffy and Iron Hands. Iron Hands just benches one of those hands and has to discard the other one. Only going to have to play with one hand for this entire game.
Yeah, it's an awkward patty cake.
4 lightning energy found off this Professor's Research, and not much else. This is going to be a pretty slow start for this Miraidon, and perfect for an Arceus V-Star deck.
Wow. Yeah, there's not much you can do with a hand like that. And sure enough, that means that you need to use the Forest Sealstone to try to figure this out. Typically, the strategy from here is Electric Generator. Try to find a way to get some energies in play, get some relevant damage onto this Arceus V so that you can knock it out next turn. But 1 energy means a small attack from a Raikou, and 2 means you can attack with Miraidon. Well, we saw 4 energies in this hand.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the 4 energy Flaffy in hand, Squawkabilly might have been a choice. But just revealing him, only 1 energy. We're going to have to attack with the Raikou V here this turn. Still getting some damage, especially with that Bravery Charm. Not too bad. Does set up a 2-hit KO for that Arceus V-Star potentially.
Yep, and a little benefit as well when you see Bravery Charm on the Arceus V means that a card like Choice Belt isn't going to surprise you, knock you out for 210 on the following turn from an Arceus V-Star, so maybe you feel a little better about having those energies in play without those experience shares that we will see later on potentially.
And there is that retreat. We're going to see a fleet-footed here. And that was due to the escape rope bringing up that Mareep, and Beach Court giving it that free retreat. Second tandem unit here is just going to look through the deck, maybe thin it out before you draw that card with fleet-footed.
Yep, always a good strategy. If you can get this extra card out of your deck, then maybe fleet-footed finds you a card you're actually looking for. Nobody wants to draw this Raichu off the top.
And with it on the bench, still pretty safe here. But with 2 generator prized, it's going to be a struggle to get some energies.
Yeah, this is not the most impressive turn that we've seen from Miraidon, and Vic is obviously ecstatic to see that this is all that could be done. 2 energies in play and a Flaffy in the discard. You can work with this.
Yeah. Vic has an energy for the turn and drew Professor's Research, so has the option between that and Iono. Just depends if you want to keep this boss and switch in hand or in the deck. This is going to help out Landen a lot, putting those energies back in the deck as well.
Yeah, no complaints from either side at this point. Obviously, Vic needs to find some additional Pokemon. Arceus VSTAR would be incredible just to find some access with Starbirth to some additional resources.
And there is that Ultra Ball. And a lot of energies that you don't really need too much, but at least you found another Arceus V that you can charge up with Trinity Nova.
And looks like Sharon's Care as well in the hand, too. That could be an interesting card, as we've already noted that energies are scarce right now. This might be a 3-shot on an Arceus V-Star. And if you've absorbed 2 attacks from your opponent and then you clean up all the damage, you might be winning.
Yeah, that is if Vic doesn't bench another Pokemon here off the Starbirth. But it also just would help if you get stuff set up. And there we see that Starbirth, such a powerful V-Star ability.
Yeah, for the longest time, this has been the ability to look out for. It's so consistent. Obviously, Arceus pairs with so many different resources, and then being able to find some disruption has always been something very beneficial for these players. So not only do you get your own setup, but being able to find cards like Pat to the Peak to slow down your opponent would have been nice on first turn, but we'll take it on turn 2.
All right, it does look like Vic chose Slacking V for the first card here, eyeing down a Pat to the Peak for the second one. Now, if that Slacking does hit the bench, that means this Raikou could take the knockout, I believe, 160. And that wouldn't be too good.
Yeah, Bravery Charm is no longer active. This is an evolution Pokemon, so not helping yourself out in that case. But you also want to add some additional Pokemon to charge up. Is it just going to be the Arceus fight for the longest time? And it's a tough debate right now.
Nest Ball is the other card of choice, so I think we're going to see a pretty full bench here from Vic. But this allows Landen to take the knockout next turn in what would have been a pretty awkward turn.
Wow, the hand behind for Vic is not great.
Just energies. And Sharon's Care that you can't use now.
Yeah, really hoping that the Arceus V-Star would stick around to maybe get some additional use out of it, be able to pick this Pokemon back up and continue to attack, but it's going to be all on the Slacking from here on out.
Well, you're going to have to do what you got to have to do. There's 3 Grass Energy on that Slacking V, and now it is Landen's turn. Going to give another quick shuffle of the deck here, and with Landen having the knockout, now you can kind of take the turn back a little, charge up Miraidon on the bench, or whatever you want, really. Maybe try to get energies for that Raichu.
It's not often you use Starbirth and you're left with a hand this poor. It is V-Guard and Sharon's Care from here on out. Landen obviously would assume otherwise, so maybe there's still an opportunity for Landen to play a card like Judge or Iono in this spot.
And I think
still
he is
thinking
going to.
that there's some benefits there, but also if you watch your opponent play the cards from Starbirth, it was Nest Ball Slacking. He showed the cards too.
That just means you have a Professor's Research in hand.
Gotta
now.
be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
After a couple Ultra Balls thinning the deck out of that Squawkabilly EX, Landen settles on that Flaffy, the last Flaffy in the deck, and there is the Iono, and this is going to help out Vic so much here.
Absolutely baited.
Yeah.
No, that's obviously, with Landen playing this as half of the draw supporters right now, you're eventually going to be left with a hand where Iono or Judge is the optimal choice. And it just ends up working very well for Vic on the other side.
I don't know about very well. Let's take
It
a
has
look
to
at
be better than the other cards?
No, not really.
No.
Do you like Serperior?
You weren't kidding. Oh, there's Squavit. We're fine.
Okay. And there is that Lightning Rondo for the knockout here. Bravery Charm is not doing anything, like you said, with that evolution Pokemon. And Landen's still missing those electric generators in the prize cards.
Yeah, I mean, the hand off the Iono, there's no additional energies played out other than attach return, using Flaffy, no experience shares played. This, I mean, once again, Vic is dodging bullets.
All right, we got Jet Energy boss's orders, but you can't even attack with slacking yet because Path to the Peak is not in play.
Landen sees his spirit animal on the other side, gets excited.
I think we're going to see Jet Energy squove it for 1, hope to find...
Rip Path?
Probably B-Barrel into Path, but yeah, sure. Eventually Rip Path. Oh, doesn't play the Jet Energy.
Wow.
Me and that guy go way back.
1 card. It's Escape Rope.
It is not nearly as good as when Landen uses it.
And just a pass back of the turn, and Landen is in full control of this game now. You have 4 energy in play, Dynamotor, and energy for the turn. That means a boss's orders could take the knockout on that slacking and pretty much seal the game up.
Yeah, you see the switch in hand too, so no worries on this side. Continuing to accelerate by way of the discard pile now with that lightning energy in the discard pile for the Flaffy. The energies will continue to flow, and that means that taking a knockout on a relevant Pokemon here, taking 2 prize cards if possible with a card like Boss or maybe Escape Rope into another Pokemon could easily lead into a Raichu closeout on the next turn.
I'll play a switch.
And there's a switch to the Raikou. Get that fleet-footed. Try to get an extra card here.
I'll use a fleet-footed.
Does find another Ultra Ball. That's not really going to help, but you can thin out a little bit more before playing this Iono or Judge. But again, your opponent has 1 card in hand. Do you even want to play it?
Yeah.
I will Dynamotor.
Right now you're removing the Bidoof as well, which...
There's 2.
Okay, well, yeah, it's hidden. I mean, there's not much pressure on you at this point to play that and give your opponent a new hand.
Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
Yep.
Cool.
And Landen finally gets one of those Electric Generator from the prize cards. Vincent's going to have to rely on another Squavit, but top deck's an Iono here. Rope to get that Raikou V out of the active spot. And Landen pushing that Raichu.
Yeah, at this point, you understand that you've played a lot of your switching resources.
Nice.
So as much as you'd like to push up a card like the Iron Hands, you know that it might get stranded. So sticking with the low retreat there, along with the Beach Court as well, is going to take the L there if you need to.
Yeah, I would have loved to see the Rope bring up the Squavit just to be able to free retreat.
Yep.
But Vic does find B-Barrel here.
Yep.
And a Path to the Peak and an energy, so we can see an attack this turn. It is that double turbo energy, though, so it's going to reduce your slacking V a little bit.
Yep. Still relevant knockouts on everything on the board. But this is all the eggs at this point. And you have to assume that that's not going to be able to last for much longer. We'll see what Landen has on the following turn.
Yeah, well, one thing he has is that Zapdos to be able to boost your damage with that ability to take the knockout with Photon Blaster of that Miraidon EX on that 230 HP slacking.
There you go. Lightning symbol paying off.
Ultra Ball does find Arceus VSTAR. Get that down before you Industrious Incisors here. Does find a V-Guard energy that would help if Raichu was attacking it.
Yeah, it doesn't really work the way you want it to in this spot. Not everything is V.
Yeah. I'm at 3 prize cards anyway, so.
They're clarifying slacking V's ability. Doesn't allow you to attack if you're at 2, 4, or 6 prize cards, but that Path to the Peak shuts that ability off. And there we see an XP share on Iron Hands. It's one of the new technologies from Portland that we've been seeing a lot. And I believe it's very good. Just helps you keep up.
Yeah, I mean, we heard a lot of mixed feelings on how this card plays, but ultimately the results say that this should be an inclusion right now in Miraidon.
Okay, I'll go for turn.
And wow, I mean, it's a basic turn, but ultimately this is the only Pokemon that's attacking right now. It's on Vic to find another resource, and sure enough, has the double turbo ready to roll. The Arceus VSTAR is going to be ready. This is kind of turning around at this point. There's no Raichus.
Yeah, the Iono was very good for Vic here. It shuffled away that Zapdos to the bottom, and there's just energy left in the hand for Landen.
I mean, he showed the judge, but doesn't want to play it. Remembered that Landen's on a pretty bad hand at this point.
Sounds good.
But, I mean,
there is a possibility where Landen just wins with an Iron Hands EX if Vic decides to attack with slacking.
And then, marker on this. Go ahead.
Well, there's that Nest Stash for 1, Industrious Incisors, Boss's Orders found. I like Boss's Orders on this Iron Hands right now.
Yeah, that's certainly the biggest threat.
Yep.
The opportunity to absolutely just win the game from the next turn, and you still get to continue to have the pressure on that Raikou V. That's going to be a Boss's Orders away from closing out. And it looks like Arceus is going to be able to knock out some of these Pokemon too, so not too bad.
Well, wow.
Boss's Orders
is finally not lounging around. Taking 4 prize cards, puts Vic down to 2 to Landen's 3, and Landen has a knockout lined up right now, but can he get the last one before something like this Arceus takes the knockout on Raikou?
Retreat.
Yep, you need to remove the slacking from play. It's the most dangerous. There was opportunities where you could just try to boss stall and buy more time, but it looks like Vic would have more opportunities to draw than you would.
Vic, I think, has the Boss's Orders in hand. As long as he has the energy, this is game 1.
Stop. It is
what
in
a
hand.
comeback. Wow. Grass Energy, Boss's Orders, and we're going to be going to a game 2 here. Arceus Serperior taking down the Miraidon in game 1. An awkward matchup for Arceus.
Not on my bingo card. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, truly, it speaks to the power of Judge Path once more. It is so impressive. Iono Path this time around, but it was everything that you needed. Landen was trying to thin out, make sure that the resources were around, but there were some tough decisions that had to be made because there weren't enough energies accelerated early on in the game. And with the opportunity to either lose all your switching effects or the Raichu, a really tough decision was made, and Landen didn't have the resources to close out.
Well, there was that early Lightning Rondo with the Raikou, put some damage, then you clean up that knockout on the Arceus V-Star, and Landen taking another knockout on Bidoof before this slacking starts to take control of the game. Big knockout impaired with that Iono and Path to the Peak meant no Zapdos, and just another Raikou attack. Boss's Orders on the Iron Hands, and there's just a Boss's Orders on the Raikou to clean things up. And just like that, Vic taking game 1 on his first time on stream.
Yeah, the odds on that one, certainly for Vegas, that was looking wild. And once more, see the prize cards, just the one Raichu this time around, and not too bad on the other side for Vic. He can work with those prize cards. How can he work with this hand?
Yeah, Landen's going to have access to all 4 Generator if he wants this game now, and start things off with an Iron Hands in the active and a Nest Ball to find that Miraidon EX. And now we're going to see a good tandem unit, maybe find a Mareep and something else, but pretty good. Except for, I don't think there's an energy in hand to attach for the turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but obviously the benefit of being able to have full access to your deck at this point, find cards like Squawkabilly, not have to worry about finding that the opening stadium where you know that your opponent could just play a turn 1 path, which is why Landen chose to go first in this situation.
And then I'm going to tandem unit again.
Certainly could be a very strong turn where you set up for the future, and here we go.
How do you like this choice, the 2 different Mareeps, huh?
You know, I don't hate it.
Yeah. They both have 60 HP, 1 retreat.
Yeah, they're equally as special, too. It doesn't matter that one's a little shinier than the other.
One has a silver border, though. I like the silver border.
Good for you.
No energy here, but that 4 Seal Stone could have been used. Decided not to use it here.
Yep.
I mean, this is a setup approach. This is not what we're used to seeing from Miraidon. Typically, it is throw all my cards away, go ballistic, find energies, and try to knock stuff out. Instead, this is like a double flaffy, take your time, and eventually you're just going to knock out V-Stars back to back to back.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if it is fruitful or not for Landen here, using those binoculars.
Got to get funny photos for later.
Nest Ball does find Bidoof for Vic here. Has A lot of Pokemon in hand, and is going to be forced to just Iono this turn, most likely. Maybe Judge.
Yeah, this is incredibly awkward because you see Iono and then you realize, oh, I'll never see an Arceus V-Star again if I do this. So the hedge instead now is keep those around and then use the Judge. You see less cards, but you have more opportunities to find the Arceus V-Star later on. But this is a worry because now you only have 4 opportunities to see an energy. And turn 1 energy is the most important part of Arceus.
What?
I think.
Okay, yeah. I think you're right.
For the last 3 years, that's been correct.
And there we see that powerful supporter, Judge. Each player shuffles their hand in their deck, draws 4. And like you're saying, Vic needs to find an energy here. And really, if you don't see anything else, energy's probably just good enough, and then you can just draw into the Arceus V-Star next turn.
I'm calling it's the Jet energy, and then he has to promote his Arceus V to the active with it, and he's never lucky.
Double Boss's Orders, switch Ultra Ball for Landen. Not a good hand, and wow. Energy, Arceus V-Star, Path to the Peak, Boss's Orders for Vic here.
Do you play the path first? I mean, you have nothing to follow up.
I don't think
but
you do.
You could completely ruin your opponent.
What do you mean? Tandem Unit was already used.
What are you drawing,
Fleet-footed?
Yeah, depends.
Watch, the Fleet-footed's going to get the 1 card. No, there's 4 Seal Stone, but
this hand's not great.
You got 4 Seal Stone. It's fine.
you joke, but here it comes, Fleet-footed.
XP share. And that's so awkward. Was there any route to using the 4 Seal Stone before playing the switch? But I guess if you're going for a Professor's Research, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can't remember if I saw an Ultra Ball in combination with the Lightning. There was an opportunity to use Flaffy, get the energy onto the Raikou, and then do this promotion. Maybe that would have been a better choice.
Well, the XP share was drawn, so yeah, that was available in Landen's hand. But I guess you're still going for that turn 1 knockout with that Miraidon EX and Photon Blaster. And Ultra Ball Flaffy is going to make it a little bit easier.
Yep. Still, Beach Court's able to be drawn into, and then you could, for your treat, move this Pokemon around. You're expecting to see cards like Generator when you use Iono, as you haven't seen any of them so far.
I will experience share
So,
and play an Iono.
Plenty of resources left to be had off the Iono.
And you wouldn't realize it, but that's hurting Vic a lot here.
Those are 2 good cards.
Ooh, out of these 6 cards, I do not see good cards. There's no Electric Generator, no energy to speak of.
Dynamotor?
Yeah. Yep.
Talk about slow.
What attacks do we have for 1 energy over there? Rear kick?
Rear kick, yeah.
Gonna
to the peak and
forego
pass.
that.
Now there is an out to path in Vic's deck. It is Lost Vacuum,
Nice.
but we're not going to see that in hand. Awkward hand here off this Iono.
Yep.
I think we're going to see a Nest Dash.
Oh, sorry.
Nest Ball taking a look through. There's that Squavit down at the top of the deck.
Oh, yes. Welcome back, old friend.
Sure.
Going to take a quick look through the deck to see what resources you have available. Lost Vacuum is in there. Vic took a quick look. It's all going to be off this Nest Dash and Industrious Incisors, Kyle. Do you even, you don't even attach the energy you have. It's a V-Guard. Just hold out for that double turbo energy.
Exactly, yeah. If it's the double turbo, then you really have a debate there. You could choose to play it slow and attach that to the active and then just consider just charging up some Pokemon on the bench, or you can go all in at this point, which seems to be the appropriate play. See if you can find all those resources and really start to take a big lead.
Serperior V-Star. Nest Dash is pretty good at drawing V-Star Pokemon. We've seen it in the past. Oh, it's a V Pokemon. All right.
All right. Play it down. Now you get 5.
But this does allow Raikou to
that's a
fully
good one.
attack.
Need a little more help, and that's not it.
Not good enough. I think we might see a Trinity Charge from the active here. No?
I would think so, too.
All right, we're just going to attach it to the bench, pass the turn back. Landen has another Ultra Ball to get the second Flaffy from the deck, but there's no Lightning Energy in the discard.
This is the volatility that we've spoken of with this deck. Is you usually find that setup strategy around turn 3 or 4, but you have to have that explosive opening in the beginning where you're throwing away all those resources, the lightning energies into the discard pile, and eventually you have those for the mid game. But the cards didn't really play out this way, and Landen's just working with what they got.
Yep. He Professor's researched away a beach court, but does not want to bump that path to the peak and give Starbirth available to Vic. Does find Escape Rope, 2 lightning energy, and an electric generator, so we could see a big attack here this turn.
There's one.
All right, just one. That should be enough, though. With the Escape Rope, you can bring that Miraidon EX to the active spot and knock out a Bidoof from Vic's side of the board.
That's once more just the awkwardness of the way that this game has progressed. That's not a Pokemon you want to attack for 220.
No?
And give the opportunity for Vic to get some really relevant damage onto your side of the board. But also, you got to start taking prize cards. If you wait around, you probably lose. Your opponent can build up a lot.
Attached to the Raikou here. It's going to retreat.
Dynamotor.
Is there an energy in the discard? No.
We're walling and stalling.
All right. Just set up the Photon Blaster in the active for next turn. And here we see Arceus VSTAR on the active. If there was a double turbo on that, we could have seen some fireworks, but Switch was drawn.
Was found. I mean,
this allows Vic to start attacking, and that's all you really need for Arceus VSTAR.
And if there was, an attack into this Pokemon, it would have played right into Sharon's care. So, I mean, you played around everything besides top deck Switch. it was ready to go, though.
Ooh, here we see a Judge off the incisors. Could be pretty good. Landon did just play a research last turn. Judge Path, you got to love to see it.
You don't have to.
No, you have to.
Okay.
Especially when you're with me.
Wow, that's so great.
I got some interesting numbers for this Charlotte Regionals. Last season, there was just over 1,100 players in the Masters
Which
division.
is huge.
Yeah. One of the biggest ever
Yep.
at the time. This season, the official number, I think, is 2,133.
Wow.
Yeah. Insane.
That's, I mean, the fact that we're able to accommodate for that many players and the continued growth is just unbelievable. I mean, look, seniors basically doubled from 135 to 250.
Juniors more than doubled. Wow. 96 to 195. That's Pokemon. It just is going to keep growing, especially with this prize pool, with just the ease of getting into the game. A lot of available resources for any player that wants to try to start playing. This Trinity Nova is going to deal 180. Charge up that Serperior V on the bench. Slacking is missing, and that's one of the cards that is able to take these big one-hit knockouts like we saw last game.
Yeah, I saw the Radiant Alakazam inclusion here as well. That's a card you may have to look out for later on down the road as just a way to clean up Pokemon, but it is always for one every time on this side, isn't it? I guess you can't complain, but,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you can too.
Now, I don't know if Landon realizes you can hit 2 energies off Electric Generator. He's only hitting 1.
No, he definitely knows.
I don't know. He was saying that he hasn't hit 2 yet.
Yeah.
It's round 4.
I don't know if it's up to them.
Energy on the active means you can Photon Blaster if you want. And then there we see another Judge Path. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Love. So much. This is, I mean, you don't see Pokemon like this anymore, Jeremy.
No, you don't.
This is awkward. This is 2 guys just punching each other and not taking knockouts.
Oh, we got 2.
You called it. It does work. But it's also great. Like this is wild. We're so used to the one-hit format.
Yeah.
Always. That's just how it seems to go. Games last 10 minutes, and it's been wild back and forths. But
I mean, to be honest, we were a little worried this game was going to last 10 minutes.
yeah, well,
Not anymore.
nope. I've seen so many dice. This is great.
Energy drawn for the turn for Vic here. Has boss's orders in hand, but not much else.
Yeah, the one turn you don't have Sharon's Care ready to go, and here you have all this damage on the active. Squab it.
Yeah, we're
Take us home.
Nest Dash. Let's try to get some of those berries.
Yep.
Sign me up.
What's your favorite berry, Kyle?
Blurple.
I don't know if that's a berry. Mine's boysenberry.
Good for you.
Industrious Incisors for 4 here.
Ultra
Ooh,
Ball.
no
That
Charon's
continues
Care.
to extend this, though. There's another
Yeah.
barrel ready to go. We're going to see cards. Multiple cards.
Multiple cards, yes, indeed. 4 of them, to be exact. There is, what, the 1 Charon's Care in the list.
Cut, please.
Big incisors here.
One time.
Yo, okay, the
Hold
Lost
up.
Vacuum does
Hold
it.
up. Hold up.
We
got
haven't
Wombo
used
combos.
Starbirth.
No, you're right. Yeah, no supporter.
And no supporter for the turn either.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Lost Vacuum, get rid of that Path to the Peak. We're going to Starbirth here.
All right, Vic. You've won me over. This is a flex.
Yep.
All right. Oh, we're going straight for it.
Absolutely. Immediately identifies the line.
Do we even need a
Who
second
cares
card?
about the other card?
Yeah.
Just let your opponent pick one. or
shuffle the deck,
play
you
the
pick
rest
one.
of the game. Fine, whatever.
Another boss's orders could be handy, but with 2 in the hand, that makes it a little more Iono weak.
Sure.
But I guess when you have Squavet double B barrel, nothing's going to stop you.
You're going to see all the cards.
Landen is no stranger to Arceus VSTAR, having won that Portland Regionals with it. And big Charon's Care. Oh, there it is. All that hard work attacking turn 3
You touched the V guard, I think, yeah.
has already attached for the turn, but it's going to bench down Radiant Alakazam. This will help
Yes.
clean up damage on that Raikou V. You're already taking the big knockout here, so 2 damage to that Raikou.
Yes, just one.
Oh, just
I can
1.
do another one, right?
You can do 2.
But can I move
It
it?
has to be the same
Oh, they're
one.
asking. All right, he's looking for verification that you
Okay.
can't split the damage up. No, this isn't like a Sableye drop. You have to, if you're gonna move, you can move 2, but it's just a 1 Pokemon. So, although you're thinking of the 190 from the Serperior taking a knockout here, you might as well just move 2. It doesn't matter. The damage is being removed regardless.
Yeah, that ability we've called Painful Fork instead of Spoons.
Yeah, with only 2 prongs.
Yeah.
Knockout.
Yeah, and I'll EXP share.
And there is the knockout EXP share. Gets the energy on that Miraidon EX. And here comes that Iron Hands.
All right.
Okay, and then I'll drop return.
The 2 damage on that Raikou is very relevant.
Whoa, Boss's Orders top deck. Does that change things?
You get 2 prizes off a B barrel.
That's what I'm saying. You don't do much with your board, obviously, but were you intending to anyways?
Thank you.
And you failed the energy?
And Vic did fail the Trinity Nova here.
Okay.
So all the energy is basically in hand or in the prize cards.
Yeah, this is a tough call. Landon wanted to see more of the deck this turn,
So 2 Dynamo.
but when you get a boss's orders,
And then I'll
I
arm
think
press
you
for
have to
160.
play the boss's orders.
Oh, wow.
No, he's gonna hold it, not play either card now. Understanding the value of that boss's orders, you can't just discard it.
Yep.
The bench is pretty full of awkward support Pokemon here for Vic, though, this game, too. Double B-Barrel, Squavet, Radiant Alakazam. It's going to have to rely on that Serperior V-Star to try to clean things up, and it's doing 190.
Sorry. Touch on energy here.
Yep.
Escape Row Boss's Orders could help clean up some damage here.
Yeah, can you
Or just
continue?
boss's orders.
Can you continue to ignore the Iron Hands though? It seems
Maybe?
it seems so dangerous.
I'll go for the.
I mean, if you Boss's Orders, you're taking the knockout with this Arceus V-Star, but it allows Iron Hands to take 3 prizes, and Vic is just not playing anything either. and is attacking with that Arceus, this Iron Hands is going to have free reign to amp you very much.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because of VSTAR, yeah. You're right.
My pleasure.
What?
Photo tap?
I'll tap.
Does Landen even need to play anything?
That's honestly where we're at this point. This is ridiculous Pokemon. But it's also, at some point, it is correct. You need to remove this threat. Also, for Vic on the other side, this is the only Pokemon he's scared of, so you just have to continue to attack into it. Sure, we're in Theme Deck mode, but it's also what you need to do.
Now, I would be very scared of a Raichu V for next turn. Taking the knockout, you need to set up another Pokemon. But
Yeah,
no!
we're not even going for slacking at this point. There's an Ultra Ball in hand.
There was an Arceus V double turbo energy.
What do we do if this Pokemon's gone?
Vic is relying on this Serperior V-Star to take this last knockout on Raikou V. Landon has a big hand, has the Raichu V double Flappy.
I mean, you play like you have no cards in hand, and sure enough, this is what can happen.
I think Vic just kind of realized that once the Raichu V came down.
It's like, oh, yeah, that wins. Maybe not this turn, but it definitely removes all of my outs. Yeah, all you can do is really laugh at that point.
What a weird game two here.
So I need to do.
I mean, there was plenty of opportunities there for Vic to continue to draw, use Squavit, use the B-Barrel, try to find Iono, Judge, whatever it is, continue to limit your options for your opponent. Said, nah, we're chilling. I don't even want to set up another Pokemon. We're chilling.
Professor's Research discards the hand for Landon here.
We'll try a generator.
Generator. Finds one.
Hoggers.
At least both the players are having fun here, too.
You know what? I'm having fun, too.
Me too.
This has been ridiculous.
I will play a beach court. I will retreat.
Beach Court will allow you to keep that
I'll do
energy.
it this way like you wanted. Dynamotor.
Double Dynamotor just charging up.
Dynamotor.
And you have to think this was the vision all along for Landon with that opening setup of the double Mareep to eventually get to a point where you have all of these energies and Raichu just continues to close out back-to-back, taking knockouts and trying to take this game too.
Needs 5 energy total off this dynamic spark here.
Considerations now are just for boss's orders stalling at this point, but we see the escape rope in hand, so is not worried about the Iron Hands being left in the active.
It looks like Landon has this game pretty much locked up now.
Just attack with Squavit. Come on. What else are we accomplishing this game?
Serperior Choice Belt. That's not doing anything.
Yeah,
Arceus V, that's not doing anything. Turn too late here for Vic. I would like to see a concession in the game 3 here. Not much time left remaining, just over 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's a great point. You have to understand the position that you're in. This is sub 1% at this point to buy enough time. Obviously, your opponent is going to knock out whatever is in the active spot with the Miraidon, whatever it is. And I was going to say, if Iron Hands is the promotion, that's the only way that you get stuck, right?
Oh.
This could be...
Okay, you definitely can't kill that.
Yeah.
All right, yep. Raikou V in the active spot. This still technically gives an out to Vic.
This almost got really sweaty. I mean, yeah.
You draw path and hope Landon doesn't find a way to get out of the active, like an energy.
Yep. And
or it just draws an energy off the one Iono.
That has to be so refreshing. That got very scary.
And Vic found the path, too.
Oh, it's not, there you go, not quite the bottom one.
And that's stashed. But this is just taking so much more time.
Precious time being ticked off. Man.
Those cards aren't going to do anything. Energy, Dynamotor, Photon Blaster. We're going to a game 3 here.
Okay. Good game.
That's all you need to get the job done. The single lightning energy off the top is going to take us into game 3 with limited time left. Hoping for what, 9 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
To play the game.
Not been treating me well today.
Got to shuffle quick. Got to play quick. There's opportunities, of course. This, we know Miraidon is very explosive. We know that the power of Judge Path on these opening turns can also be very detrimental to setups. So maybe we do see some quick prize cards. It would be great, as this has been a wild set to start things off here in Charlotte.
Yeah, we thought that Lost Vacuum, able to open things up for Vic there with that Charon's Care off the Starburst, was going to potentially almost seal up the game, even having that Raining Alakazam move that 2 damage to the Raikou V to clean it up later. And he chose to attack into the Iron Hands EX twice here, but this is the big turn. Not setting up another attacker allowed Raichu V to take the big one-hit knockout and have Landen basically seal up this game too. Vic just taking a little more time, trying to play to his outs that weren't there.
Yeah, there were definitely opportunities for Vic to play that cleaner. There were strategies where instead of going for that Radiant Alakazam, you just focus on the Arceus as your attackers, and then you have the energies able to shuffle back in and then load up on a Slacking later on, and then you really aren't worried about that not having the ability to close out. We are in game 3, though.
Love it.
And it is time. You see Vic's going to pull out all the stops, even throw down the Spiritomb here, too.
And Spiritomb is going to shut off that fleet-footed from Raikou V, and it's really the only thing that it shuts down in Landen's
That's
deck.
all we care about.
Yeah, the 1 extra card is pretty beneficial sometimes, especially depending on the hand. And oh
my,
wow, looking at Landen's hand.
Whoa.
That Spiritomb's putting in a ton of work. Talk about fettered in misfortune.
Yeah, I mean, for Vic, maybe you have to read into the where you are at in this situation and play to the active and just hope, but it's going to play it onto the bench.
Wow, Miraidon EX drawn for the top. Still not going to do much anything, but it will allow Landen to get at least some Pokemon down, and you don't lose to a Choice Belt next turn.
You get to thin a little more, find some resources, maybe start to attach energies to these Pokemon instead, but this hand stinks.
This hand stinks.
What do you do?
Attach energy, pass, and hope Vic plays the Judge in hand?
I mean, you can play Path and try to slow down your opponent at this point. You're avoiding Starbirth on the other side, and maybe that's what Vic is hoping to see, especially with the double turbo attached to the bench. Usually getting that Pokemon in the active includes the Starbirth ability.
Well, we are just over 8 minutes left in this game 3. It's going to be a slow start from Landen, and this Path to the Peak is going to make it a slow start for Vic here. Only a Lost Vacuum is going to help. Does find another Arceus VSTAR, double Ultra Ball, Judge, and wow.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do at that point. There's definitely some avenues to some craziness right here. If we see Lost Vacuum,
yeah,
we see Knockout. We see
was
Jet
Lost
Energy.
Vacuum in the prizes? Have we looked at the prizes yet?
I don't know. There's options with Jet Choice Belt right here to find avenues to knockouts, and
4 big cards.
They look
escape rope
to me,
energy,
but that's an escape rope. Put the pressure on.
And still has a Professor's Research for next turn. This is going to be really great.
Let him cook.
Trinity Nova, charge up that Arceus V-Star on the bench. That can take a knockout on the Raikou V in 1 hit.
All good. Part of the fun.
180.
Yeah.
Wow. Sub 7 minutes left in this final game 3 here.
And it's looking all Arceus right now, depending on Landen's hand. Does have a Judge, Energy.
These are the games that Arceus wins.
Yeah.
Where you have this clean setup path locked in play, although it was your opponent's, who cares? But you have all your energies in play on both these Arceus. You're able to find Sharon's Care when you need to eventually, and you just avoid knockouts and place solid damage back to back to back.
And Landen starts things off Energy on the Raikou V, and a Judge of his own had the Beach Court in hand and is just hoping to find something like a Switch or Escape Rope, but only having 3 of those outs compared to already having it in hand with that Beach Court. Wants to keep that Path to the Peak in play.
Oh, this is getting sweaty, Jeremy. 4 cards. an opportunity to get a solid attack off if you could find. Oh.
Found the generator, and so if he attached to the active and this generator hit, could have attacked with the Raikou V. But might just have to settle for a pass of the turn here.
Oh, no.
I'll pass.
Wow. Complete whiff on the generator. Action back over to Vic now.
Boss's orders could be useful next turn.
I mean, we're in a spot where
we need to start picking up the pace here.
You could start doing boss's orders onto the Raikou and then just get both these Pokemon like in range to be Radiant Alakazam'd and stuff.
Like you can knock the Raikou out with the Arceus on the bench.
Okay.
You just retreat with the double turbo energy.
There's plenty of energies in hand too. You could just.
Oh no. Oh, just 180.
He's going for the cute plays. Okay. this is Radiant Alakazam gameplay.
I don't know if there's enough time for Radiant Alakazam gameplay here, especially with Pats of the Peak in play.
I'm gonna drop return. Oh, so I'll wait. Okay. Sounds good.
Man, under 5 minutes to go. Still neither player taking a prize card.
Professor's research here for Landen.
We're cooking, maybe?
Trying to cook. His words, not mine. Oh, that's getting closer. That's so much closer.
Ultra Ball, Flaffy, a ton of energy in hand.
Triple energy in hand. You can get these
Seal
lightnings
Stone
into the discard pile. Have double Dynamotor ready to roll.
Ultra Ball?
We could see a knockout with Raichu, maybe even.
For Flappy?
We're honestly not that far off. With the attachment from hand, the 2 energy you get from the Dynamotor.
We would need 2 off Electric Generator, and then the retreat.
Yeah.
All right,
yep.
come on.
5 cards, flipping them over.
Sometimes you get there.
And sometimes you don't.
Still not bad. We take those.
Not a point to complain right now.
Under 4 minutes.
Plenty to work with. But it looks like 2-shot range is likely where we're at now.
I'll use,
Walks right back into that Sharon's carrier strategy, you know?
We would have loved to see the knockout last turn, but again, playing into that Radiant Alakazam is just going to have to stare down this Iron Hands EX arm press. And we don't see the Force Seal Stone get played just yet.
And I'll arm press for 160.
Okay. Arm press is enough to put some pressure on. Clearly, the hit points are the most important piece here. 230 is a very difficult number to reach without the slacking in play.
Ultra Ball found.
How many cards do you have in hand?
1.
Can use it to go ahead and find something like that slacking. Get a double turbo energy on it and just hope for the best.
Ultra Ball.
Oh, Vic once more in that awkward spot again. Doesn't want to play Judge because your opponent only has 1 card in hand, but it's the last resource really there. Slacking, ready to get charged up now at this point. Has the double turbo ready to roll and the Judge.
Might not even want to play it. Again.
Yeah.
Still does knockouts.
It's a big boy.
What'd you say?
I'll attack.
Oh, okay. I thought
And
you said
is
you-
going to use the Trinity Nova here.
I mean, this is just set up for wild combos from both sides now. Amp You Very Much is going to be taking big knockouts for additional prize cards. There's so many Pokemon in range of being KO'd from Radiant Alakazam combos. Although it doesn't look like 6 prize cards could be taken in this amount of time, it certainly can.
That is true. Less than 2 minutes left. Force Seal Stone is going to find a Professor's Research here for Landen. Going to have a brand new hand of 7. Has the Amp You Very Much already ready to go in the active spot.
Okay. Play Professor's Research. Cut if you like.
No time for high fives. Got to
Nope.
get moving.
Electric Generator found.
Generator.
There's an energy.
Obviously, see, Landon understands the time crunch that we're in right now. Have to take those prize cards and see your opponent draw a card.
I'll use
Minute 20.
Motor,
Thankfully, should be enough time for a couple more turns for Landon.
and I'll amp you very much for 3 prizes.
All right, Landen going down to 3 prize cards thanks to that Iron Hands EX.
Yeah.
Vic is going to promote Arceus VSTAR here. we see the draw for turn. Professor's Research had the judge, but you kind of want more cards right now.
Yep. Honestly, it doesn't matter much what your opponent's doing. It's more so on you to get rid of that path, start to find some of those combos. There's Ultra Ball in hand, but nothing else.
No, there's 3 Pats of the Peak.
Nothing else in this hand.
Ultra Ball can go ahead and grab that Radiant Alakazam, maybe?
Oh, you have to think about all the outs potentially, even finding like Bidoof in a situation like this to have more draws for next turn. Instead, it is onto the Radiant Alakazam that you can't even use the ability right now.
It is really, he's going to have to rely on Raihan, find the Lost Vacuum the Pats of the Peak, move the damage, take the knockout.
That's, yep. That'd be cool. I don't see Lieutenant Surge anywhere, though.
Nope, I'm going to have to wait till next turn. Trinity Nova for the knockout. Arceus VSTAR doesn't get knocked out.
So I get 2 more turns?
All right.
And time was called on Vic's turn, so he's
Before the
turn
draw.
0.
Oh, that's so brutal for Vic. That is a sigh of relief for Landen. Turn 1 and turn 3.
So draw for turn.
The best turns.
The best turns.
And you only need 3 more prize cards. Awkwardness here now. Attacking into any colorless Pokemon for a non-knockout means Charon's Care could make this game unwinnable. Double Boss's Orders would be the strategy if you try to knock out some of the lower hit point Pokemon.
But I don't see a Boss's Orders in Landen's hand.
That's where we're getting.
Oh.
This is tough. There's still no Starbirth used.
Yeah.
So any way to counter that stadium means that Vic would be able to protect the hit points.
And honestly, Landen saw Vic try to use that Raihan last turn. Does that mean you just don't attack into Arceus, but then you play into the Charon Scare, which Vic also has in hand?
Right. I mean, you see Raihan and you think, oh well, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's less options for it to be Charon Scare, but it is in the hand, ready to go.
But if Vic Charon Scare, he's not going to be able to take the win.
Yeah.
Unless you draw into the Lost Vacuum. Worst thing for Landen right now would be to play a Beach Court.
The win got infinitely more difficult.
Dynamotor.
Obviously, you still have Radiant Alakazam. You have the potential to move the damage up, knock out the Raikou, have Boss's Orders to do other things, but it basically has to be Lost Vacuum off the top.
Oh, there is a Boss's Orders in the hand. So I think Landen is going to go that route. Having attached to the Miraidon, can still use Raichu. Take a big knockout on the Arceus. You know what I want to see? A Nest Dash into the Lost Vacuum. And you can't use it.
You're nuts. Why would you do that to him?
All right, Landen, retreat for the turn.
Wow, healed it too.
That's a big switch card.
That's clutch. I mean, this.
Dynamotor.
It has to be knockout on.
Photon Blaster for 220.
I'm like, I mean, we're Lost Vacuum away.
All right, big.
It's all or
card
nothing right
off
here.
the top for Vic here. Last turn of his round 4, trying to play for the win.
Yeah.
Arceus V.
Arceus V.
That's right.
There's Iono.
You have to Iono here.
Doesn't matter if you thin at this point. All these cards are going to the bottom of the deck. You're going to have 4 cards separating you from potentially closing out this game in ridiculous fashion. Of course, options for Squavit too if this doesn't happen, but these are going to be the biggest cards of the game.
No.
It's not there, but there's Nest Ball for Squavit, but then you can't do it. I mean, I just want to see it go to the hand,
Yeah.
don't you?
Me too.
Yeah.
Jet Energy is going to allow the Slacking V to get brought to the active.
Where is this? Where is the vacuum? Oh, the energies are moving. The knockout has occurred. This is turn 3.
Oh, the Squavit was in the prizes.
Beach court.
Man, wouldn't that be cool to know?
Retreat.
Beach court retreat to Raikou. We need a boss's orders off this. Fleet-footed. Nope. All right, maybe you play the escape rope and Vic brings up the Arceus.
One time?
One time.
And is this the last turn of the game? Okay.
This is the last turn of the game.
Right.
All right.
Escape rope.
Real pressure situation.
Play to your outs.
What do you do, Vic? Wow, calculated.
Yeah, and then
Huge play.
arm press. So GG, man.
All right, and just with an arm press, Landon goes down to 2, and we have a tie on stream for our round 4. Both of these players now 3-0-1.